Every morning at exactly 6:10 a.m., Marcus Hill poured 2 coffees, one for himself, one for Mr. Arthur. The café sat on the corner of a busy downtown street, wedged between a bank and a luxury apartment building. Marcus worked there before his shift at the warehouse, black apron, tired eyes, hands rough from lifting boxes all night. Being a single dad didn't leave room for sleep, only routine. And part of that routine was the old man who sat by the window. Arthur came in every morning at 6:15 sharp. Same seat. Same cane leaned against the chair. Same worn gray coat, even in summer. He always smiled when he saw Marcus. "Morning, son," Arthur would say. "Morning, sir," Marcus replied, sliding the coffee across the counter. "2 sugars? No cream?" Arthur's hand shook when he reached for the cup. Marcus noticed everything. Some days, Arthur's shoes were soaked from the rain. Other days, he winced when standing up, his knee clearly failing him. Marcus never asked questions. He just helped carrying the tray, pulling out the chair, walking him halfway down the block when the man looked unsteady. No cameras, no praise. Just quiet kindness. One morning, Marcus noticed Arthur hadn't eaten in days. "You okay, Mr. Arthur?" Marcus asked softly. Arthur smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "I'm fine, just waiting on something." Marcus nodded, then disappeared into the back. When he returned, there was a warm breakfast sandwich wrapped in paper. "Done the house," Marcus said. "Kids need strong role models." Arthur chuckled. "You've got kids?" "Just one," Marcus said. "My son. 7 years old." Arthur's eyes softened. "Then he's already rich." Weeks passed. One Tuesday, Arthur didn't show up. Marcus checked the door every few minutes, coffee growing cold in a spare cup. The next day, still nothing. By Friday, Marcus felt a knot in his chest he couldn't explain. Then, the following Monday, the cafe door opened. But Arthur wasn't alone. 4 men in black suits stepped in first, scanning the room like it was a crime scene. 2 stood by the door. One near the counter. The last stayed close to the old man, now dressed in a tailored coat, his posture straighter than Marcus had ever seen. Behind them came 2 lawyers carrying leather briefcases. The cafe went silent. Arthur looked around, then spotted Marcus. Their eyes met. And for the first time since Marcus had known him, Arthur didn't smile. Marcus froze, his hands gripping the edge of the counter. 4 men in black suits, 2 lawyers. The air in the cafe had gone from warm and familiar to electric and heavy. His heart pounded not out of fear, but disbelief. "Marcus Hill," one of the lawyers asked, stepping forward. His voice was calm but sharp, commanding attention. "Mr. Arthur has something important to discuss with you." Arthur, the old man who had become like family to Marcus, nodded. His cane clicked against the floor as he slowly approached. But there was something different now, unmistakable authority in his posture, the kind that demanded respect. "I've been watching you, Marcus," Arthur said quietly, stopping a few feet away. "Day after day I've seen how you care, how you help without asking for anything in return. You didn't know who I really was, did you?" Marcus shook his head. "No, sir. I just tried to do the right thing." Arthur's eyes twinkled, but there was weight behind his gaze. "I am Arthur Kingsley. I own half of this city's real estate. $1 billion properties, investments, you name it. Most people see me as untouchable, but you treated me like a person, not a figure in a suit." Marcus's mouth went dry. He couldn't process it. Every morning of helping, every little act of care, it hadn't been noticed by anyone else, but Arthur had seen it. "I'm not here to reward you with a handshake or a pat on the back," Arthur continued. "This is bigger than that. My lawyers and security, these men, are here because I want to change your life." The lawyer stepped forward, opening briefcases and spreading papers across the counter. Marcus stared at contracts, offers, and proposals he never imagined touching. "You've been working yourself to the bone for your son," Arthur said. "I want to make sure you never have to worry about money again. Full college fund, home ownership, health security, and more." Marcus felt his legs go weak. I don't even know what to say," he stammered. Arthur smiled, a rare warmth lighting his face. "You don't have to say anything. Just keep doing what you've always done. Be a good father. Teach your son to help others, no matter who they are." That's the only payment I ask. The bodyguards relaxed slightly, sensing Marcus's hesitation turning into awe. The lawyers began explaining the technicalities, but Marcus wasn't listening. All he could see was Arthur's eyes, remembering every morning, every smile, every tiny act of care that no one else noticed. In that moment, Marcus realized something. His life wasn't just about surviving anymore. His kindness had opened a door he never imagined. And it wasn't money that mattered, it was recognition for being the man he already was. By the end of the meeting, Marcus left the cafe in disbelief, briefcase in hand, his son's future suddenly brighter than any sunrise he'd ever seen. And all it had taken was a single act of consistent kindness. Word spread fast. By the afternoon, news outlets had caught wind of the story. Local janitor's daily kindness earns billionaire's recognition. Social media exploded with clips of Marcus smiling beside Arthur, shaking hands with the lawyers, and showing genuine humility despite the spotlight. Comments poured in. This is what humanity looks like. A single dad teaching us all a lesson. Kindness pays off literally. But it wasn't about the money for Marcus. Not really. It was about validation proof that the small, unnoticed efforts he poured into the world every day mattered. That evening, Marcus returned home. His daughter Layla ran into his arms, hugging him tightly. "Daddy, did you see the news? Everyone's talking about you," she exclaimed. Marcus knelt to her level, brushing her hair back. "I just helped Mr. Arthur because it was the right thing to do, baby. That's all." Layla tilted her head, curiosity sparkling in her eyes. But Daddy, you're famous now." Marcus chuckled softly. "Maybe, but fame isn't what matters. Doing the right thing. That's what counts." The next morning, Marcus returned to the cafe, expecting life to feel different. But it didn't, at least. Not in the ways he feared. Arthur arrived, cane in hand, but the sparkle in his eyes was unmistakable. "Good morning, Marcus," Arthur said, smiling warmly. "You've set an example not just for your son, but for everyone who hears this story." Marcus nodded, a lump forming in his throat. "I'm just glad I could help." Arthur patted his shoulder. "You've done more than help, you've inspired. And now, thanks to your consistent kindness, the world has seen that even the smallest acts can have life-changing impacts." Word reached Marcus that day that Arthur had made a private donation in his name to the local community center, ensuring kids from underprivileged neighborhoods would get mentorship, meals, and educational support. Marcus's name would forever be attached to a legacy of hope. As he watched Arthur leave, Marcus realized something profound. Life doesn't require grand gestures. It requires heart, patience, and the courage to act when no one is watching. And in the quiet moments, as Marcus cleaned tables and poured coffee for the next customer, he smiled, knowing that the ripple of kindness he had created would echo far beyond what he could ever imagine. Because sometimes the smallest daily actions can change a life, and sometimes they can change the world.